Good morning, peeps. Welcome to today's edition of Gunner Talk. It's going to have to be a short and sweet one today because me, my mum, and my dad and my gran, we're off to Waterloo. Me, my mum, my dad and my gran, and it'll be a bucket of Vindaloo. Na na na, na 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 na. We're England gonna score one more than you, England. Good morning, guys. It's England Day. It's semi-final day. I'm pumped. Jibbed out of bed this morning like I'd shit it once again. Full of the joys, fucking the usual, making the brew, na na na, butter in the toast, na na na. Can't wait. Last night got me more pumped for it as well. Let's crack on with that. What a game. My prediction was an absolute flop. I said over 2.5 and both teams to score. I feel a bit robbed. I feel like that's what should have happened, but some stunning goalkeeping on show last night. And for me, probably the two most impressive goalkeepers in this tournament. Pickford's been unreal, but I think these two guys have maybe made a few more saves. Maybe not as exciting saves, but they've made some more quality ones, and I think they were the difference last night. So yeah, for my prediction, absolute shit. The game last night, France, I said 52-48 in my opinion of a split, and it just about went that way. Apart from the goalkeepers last night, there was one big other deciding factor for me. Pogba. Love him or hate him. I dislike him a little bit because he plays for United, but what a fucking player this guy is. I always look back at the Pogba I used to see at Juve, which was one of the most dynamic box-to-box midfielders I've seen in a long time, and I feel like in this tournament for France you've seen that again. He was an absolute monolith again last night. He was just an absolute beast, and it was every aspect of his play, from his passing, from his positioning, from his even the way, like the sneaky stuff of just winning clever free kicks and talking to his teammates. I mean, absolute berating Mbappe for losing the ball and not doing the clever stuff. He was a leader amongst men last night, which I've not seen a lot of, apart from his Juve days. I've never seen that at United. And I do want to see the proper Paul Pogba. It kills me that it would be at United. But yeah, he was unreal again last night. I think he's been one of the best midfielders in this tournament definitely by a long shot. Hazard again last night. He's upped his game in this tournament. Jury's out for him, in my opinion. He's not in that Ronaldo, Messi bracket, but he's in that next bracket of. He's in that next bracket of quality players. And again, he was unplayable. He's like Messi in that short guy. Really tough to shrug off the ball, and if you ever get too tight to him, he's just falling over and winning an easy free kick, and he's brilliant at it. Some people don't like it, but I like that aspect of the game, and I wish England would do it a bit more. Harry Kane, I've noticed, he's brilliant at it. Just taking a touch and leaning into a player and waiting for the contact and then flopping over him, wasting 3 minutes. So yeah, hate to say it because he's at Chelsea, but maybe not for much longer. But yeah, Hazard, brilliant. Varane. This guy, I wish we'd get him at Arsenal. No chance of it happening, and his stock's just going through the ceiling in this tournament, in my opinion. Yeah, absolute beast all the way through. Umtiti's been unreal, but I think Varane he's been like watching England with Maguire, where it's just, you watch that ball looped in and you just go, wait to hear the name Varane as it goes back out again off somebody's big blockhead. So yeah, I thought that spine of France made the difference last night. Lloris was good in that. Umtiti and Varane at the back were rock solid. Pogba pulling the strings in the middle. Absolute maestro performance last night. Kante, you know what you get from Kante. He's just best CDM in the world. Up front, poor old Ollie. I don't think he's played terribly in this tournament. It's the way they play, where they use him for all the dirty work, and he's never going to get the pats on the back he deserves. He did have a bit of a mare last night, but he still facilitates everyone else's game, and I can see that happening again in the final. And he'll probably get a 3 out of 10. But if you look at what he's actually doing, he deserves probably a couple of points more. The other thing I noticed big time last night was what a difference it might have made if they'd have took a Marshall or a Lacazette. They look stale once it's not working perfectly with Giroud. What have they got after that? They've got nothing. So I think they missed a trick there, and I don't think Deschamps is a particularly good coach, to be honest. I know he was getting a lot of plaudits last night, but I think if you got someone really good in charge, this France team would have blown every fucker out of the water. So jury's out on that. Belgium, they've done all right. They're a bit like England, not particularly exciting this tournament, but just doing it and getting the results. And it's sad for them, really. My boy TT, can't wait to see him back at work next year. To just see what he's made of the entire World Cup. It must have been tough for him last night, being on the Belgian bench, but being a Frenchman. So yeah, I can't wait to have a chat with him and a catch up. And it's sad for Belgium, really, because they're going to go out of this tournament, and the highlight of it being Michy Batshuayi fucking kicking the ball off the post into his own face. So it's a pretty shit way to go out, to be honest. But I suppose if England go out, we'll be known for Vardy going into Maguire's interview and saying, Jamie Vardy from the Vardy Express, what's the size of the diameter of your head? So it's a bit the same for us, I suppose. Flops last night. De Bruyne, he's brilliant. I'm not going to try and mug him off, but he was fucking awful last night. Absolutely just completely inefficient. He just did nothing. He fizzed that one little fizzer ball into the top that Lukaku just missed, and that's all I can remember of him last night. Yeah, he was a real disappointment, and that was worse than anything I've seen from Ozil this tournament. And look at, what did anybody say about KDB last night? Zip, absolutely zero. So yeah, Griezmann for me has been one of the flops of the tournament. I said it in that first couple of games that he's the worst of their front three, and I'll stand by it still until I see anything else. He reminds me a lot of Kane in this tournament. They're getting goals, but are they really performing? Now, I know a lot of you are going to give me shit over it, but I think Kane's done zero in this fucking tournament, apart from the bare minimum I'd expect from a striker, which is banging spot kicks and being in the goal mouth scrambles, ready to pick up the pieces. So I think they've both been disappointing, to be honest, comparing them to what you know you can get out of both of these guys. So for me, it's been a bit of a letdown. Griezmann totally, and I thought he was crap again last night. So that was last night's game out of the way. Tonight, the big game for a lot of us, England. I've been saying it. I don't want the wheels to come off at any point. We're 2 games away from legendary status and going down in history, and I so hope that happens. But we're just not creating anything in open play. Maybe we might not have to win this tournament, but I'd feel a lot easier watching it if we were. So I'm going to say the same about tonight. I think we're going to struggle unless we switch it up. I keep saying that 2 up front doesn't work, doesn't suit anybody, this formation, forward of Henderson, and I stand by that. And I think tonight, if I admire the job Southgate's doing, I've liked him from day dot, and I think he talks a lot of sense and comes across brilliantly, talks a great game. And he's doing a good job, but I think he's another one who's doing the bare minimum. I think if he just switched to 3 up top and put Lingard and Sterling wide of Kane, or a combination of Sterling, Lingard and Rashford, either 2 of those 3 out wide of Kane, we could piss this tournament, in my opinion, because we look pretty solid at the back. So it's frustrating, but I just praying that we do the business tonight, and maybe we might just step it up another gear. The lads must be flying in the squad at the minute. Croatia's going to be tough. They're a well-rounded unit. They've looked a bit out of puff the last couple of games. They look like the fatigue sort of getting to them. So I hope they just don't turn up tonight. And I'm praying England come through with a result. So yeah, I'm going to be stupidly patriotic. England to win tonight. Or under 2.5 goals. England and under 2.5. I don't know. It's a tricky one whether both will score or not. I just don't see there being a lot of goals in this game. Something that's bugged me the last couple of days, have England had an easy run in this tournament? Yeah, of course we have. I wouldn't say easy, easier than it could have been, is more to the point. Do you care? No. Look at Belgium last night. They beat us in that game, and they're on the tough side. So yeah, if they'd have won it, you can say, well, it's more meaningful to anybody that does care, because look, they've beat everybody that are the best in the tournament. Well, look at where they are now. Who cares that they've played the better teams? They're out. No one's going to fucking remember that. So it's pointless to me. It's a mute point for me completely. I don't care. Look at here's another one for you. Arsenal and United in the Europa League. United won it. We didn't. We had an harder run. They had an easy run. Who's the champions? So which do you prefer? Do you prefer that we played better teams last year and didn't win it, or would you prefer to have the easier run and be champions of the Europa League? I know which one I'd choose. It's an absolute no-brainer for me. So I think that's a fucking dumb point in my opinion. I don't care if England play Malta, Gibraltar, whoever to get to the fucking final. Timbuktu, I'm not asked. As long as that little beautiful gold trophy is coming back home, then I couldn't give a flying toot, to be honest. So yeah, I think that's a load of bullshit, and it's just rival nations trying to put a downer on the fact that it might actually be coming home. So screw you guys. Yesterday it happened. #Terrera Tuesday. Finally a load of you can go and knock one out and relax now. It's happened. He's done. It's all confirmed. Guys through the door. Nothing but happy, nothing but excited. Just another sort of notch on the bedpost for the lads at the club at the minute. They're doing unreal work. Greenwood as well. Guendouzi. All done yesterday. So I thought, sort of in honour of Unai and the boys, I thought I'd do today's Gunner talk in socks and fucking sandals. That's for you, Unai. I back you all the way, son. If I have to start going to work in white socks and shit sandals, I'm with you, mate. White socks and Birkenstocks all the way, buddy. I'm with you. Team Unai. Yeah, it's just the work that's going on at Arsenal. I've run out of superlatives for it. I'm absolutely loving it. Rival fans having a pop yesterday. I know a lot. I bit to a kid yesterday on the internet, and I got involved in a dumb kiddie argument, and I felt so embarrassed when I got in last night. Guys, just try not to rise to it. And what I try to look at is we're back, and everybody knows it, and they don't want to admit it, but they know it, and you can see by the timelines, because look at what they're doing. When you're irrelevant, nobody fucking gets on your case. No one gives a shit. When you're back relevant, everybody tries to demean the work you're doing. So it's like Terrera being announced yesterday. Oh, he's crap. Muppets, talking bollocks already. Ignore it, guys, and enjoy it. And it means we're back in the big time and people are taking us seriously again. So I enjoy it and I love it, and I think you guys should do the same. Other interesting news yesterday, Ronnie to Juve. Big move that. He's another one, run out of superlatives for him. You just can't knock the guy. He grafts and he gets what he deserves, in my opinion. Couple of sneaky ones. I said there'd be a goalkeeper merry-go-round at some point, and a winger/striker one. It looks like it's getting into full swing now. Lamar to Atletico kicked it off, and then it was sort of slow. Ronnie to Juve, Mahrez to City yesterday, which was a sneaky one. Shows you the power of Arsenal, really, is that Terrera Tuesday was all the news. You know, one of the greatest players ever's gone to Juve, and it felt like no one gave a shit. And then the Mahrez to City, it was like they did that round the back of an Asda car park. It was amazing. So that's in full swing now. Mbappe, Hazard, Neymar. Who's going Real Madrid? I think it's going to be Neymar, in my personal opinion. And yeah, it's going to get really interesting now, this window. Talks about us with Pavon. He's signed a new contract, which now bumps his release clause up to 50 million euros. So I don't see us paying that. And I don't think he warrants that amount of money either, from what I've seen. I'd much rather go for a Lozano or somebody else. So I'm quite happy with that, to be honest, if it puts us out of the window. Dybala still, I've seen a load of you going on about it yesterday. I just don't see this happening in a fucking billion years. I really don't. I'm not going to say something stupid like I'll put my own shit on a hot dog muffin and eat it if we do get him. I will buzz my socks off if it happens, but I just don't see it in a million years, guys. Sorry, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be a realist. I just don't see how we could make that happen, and I don't see why he'd join us either. I don't think he's got links to any other players or staff at the club, so I don't see what our selling point would be. Whereas when I was talking about Dembele a while back, I could easily see why we'd be his first choice, due to Ober and Mickey and now Socrates and Sven, obviously, so and Raul. So Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, a lot of you are still stuck on what Ornstein said of the window's done for us. I certainly don't think it is, and I think we're definitely going to look to bring at least one more in. And as I said, I think now the next few weeks and the last few weeks, I think, has been putting feelers out for flogging people out the door. And then giving us the ability to bring someone in. I don't think we're going to go and flat spend 50 million to bring somebody in, but I think we would happily put 20 million towards the 30 that we've brought in through sales. So I think there's still legs in this window for us, and I still think there's going to be work done. So guys, I wouldn't give up, and I'd stay excited and keep enjoying bullshit rumours, truthful rumours, whatever the rumours aren't. I enjoy them. I know a lot of you lose your plot over them, but I enjoy them and I take them for what they are. So yeah, that merry-go-round's in full swing, and hopefully, even if it doesn't involve us, it'll be interesting to see who goes where. These are some big names flying about, so that's going to be exciting. Somebody asked me again about the Rambo contract yesterday. I think he's going to sign one, and I was told on good authority that he's got a fortnight to put up or shut up, and I still stand by that. The club aren't going to let this roll on till getting into the end of July. They're not going to let that happen, because it leaves them no room to negotiate then to find a replacement. And then once that happens, and it happens late in the window, everyone knows you're up shit creek, and you're going to have to pay at least another 20 million euros on top of what you would have done to get somebody in the door. So, like I said with the Ornstein comments, saying that our window's done's clever on the club's part, because it looks like we're in a position of power then, and like we don't really care if we do or don't bring someone in. So I like that as a power move. Last thing for today. Somebody asked me, my good buddy Tony on Twitter, he asked about loans at Arsenal. Any of you guys that are interested in loans at Arsenal, and you're on Twitter, go and follow AFC Loan Watch. I like to keep up with loan players, how they're getting on, the young lads at different clubs. These guys do a great job of giving you a little sort of who's playing on what day, and how they've performed, how much time they've had, all the rest of it. So yeah, I would definitely suggest following that account. And yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one. I think we've not been in a position to loan out many players over the last few years because we've been tight in the squad. I don't think we've had that luxury of it. I mean, you look at Chelsea, they've got like 90 players out on loan or whatever it is. It's fucking ridiculous. And then they've got depth in the squad. I don't think we've had the depth to really, our sort of players on the periphery, we've had the ability to ship them out and let them get some time under the belt. Last one I can think of is Chambers, and look how well that turned him from a boy to a man for me that season at Middlesbrough. And the couple of Middlesbrough fans that I spoke to absolutely loved him and said he was a beast. So that's why I've said, going off the back of that and his few performances back at us, that I think he's our strongest centre-back last year, and I'd love to see him getting a bit more responsibility this year. And I think he's light years ahead of Holding and Mavro, and I think Holding's got to really pull his finger out, or I think he's behind in the pecking order to Mavro as well. So yeah, it's interesting. Are the players maybe better off learning at this club with the facilities we have rather than going out to a small club? I think probably they are a lot of the time. But what I'd like to see is players getting loaned out to lower Premier League clubs and decent Championship sides. Like Holding, I'd like to see him go and get some time. If we had the depth in the squad, Iwobi, Eddie I'd like to see stay, because I can see maybe both Oba and Laka being in the first team. But if they were to just alternate them two, I'd like to see him go and get some game time somewhere and prove himself and get a feel for what it's like to play week in, week out. Same with Reece. Ainsley I think's ready to step up, so I don't want to see him go out the door. But Jeff, Naquali's, players like that, we've got plenty that need to go out. So yeah, that's it guys. That's all I've got to talk about for today. So enjoy the sun, enjoy your Wednesday, Gwendouzi Wednesday, don't know. And yeah, come on England for tonight. Take care guys.